Aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it.
It's one of the bills listed for first reading, a bill sponsored by 71 lawmakers seeking to alter the 1999 Constitution. No other detail gives an idea of the focus of the proposed amendment.
Give me other paper. Where is the other paper?
These lawmakers, who say they are part of the 71 bipartisan lawmakers behind the bill, appear before the press to give more details.
And we feel that parliamentary system that was adopted in 1960, starting from the Clinton Constitution in 1954, is the best economic benefit that can happen to our system. I don't believe that is achievable.
Other members of the group also give some reasons to back their position.
For a plural country like Nigeria, as he rightly pointed out, issues of conflict resolution, issues of too much concentration of power in the hands of the executive arm of government breeds what I can say, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
In the parliamentary system, the Attorney General would have been a member of Parliament, which means we would have all worked together, the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, and all, and we would have passed that bill speedily. This is just an example. Then again, to talk about the economics, like my colleague already mentioned. We would have less than half of the MDAs that we have today.
One need not canvass more, but there must be an end to a system that has refused to benefit and be beneficial to the people. And in such circumstance, what do? You change. And the change we are talking of is going out of the presidential system to parliamentary system of government.
The bill still has a long way to go in the National Assembly. This, however, opens the discussion on the matter. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. This is Sunrise Daily. It's just come up to 7:30 a.m. this Friday. And we're diving into the topic that we discussed or we mentioned earlier on, which is the proposal in the House of Representatives to return Nigeria to the parliamentary system of government. From the reports, 71 members of the House of Reps are supporting co-sponsors of this bill. And one of them is Honorable Gabriel Onyewife, who joins us now from our Abuja studios. Honorable Onyewife, thank you so much for coming on to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now, I will ask you the question I asked when this news first broke yesterday, which is, why now? The elections are about 60 days away. Why not after the elections?
The question you asked, the lifespan of the 8th Assembly definitely will expire by 8th of June 2019. We are in an electoral period, I agree with you totally, but government is a continuum, and legislative activities have not stopped because we are going to elections. This means that the House lifespan is still subsisting, and legislations or bills can still be introduced. And by the rules of the House, when bills that have been introduced in the House have started the process to be passed into law, the subsequent or succeeding parliament, by this I mean the 9th Assembly, can inherit such bills, and through the process as enshrined in the rules of the House, but go through the process of legislation and be passed into law. But you must have to take a step, and that step is what 71 of us who are currently members of the 8th Assembly have kickstarted. That is it.
I understand where you're coming from, and I understand the rules and procedures of the House of Representatives when you say that if you've started the process, even if you are unable to complete it, the 9th Assembly will inherit it. But then the natural follow-up question will be, why not leave it to the 9th Assembly to propose? Why do I ask that question? I don't know how many of the 71 of you who have proposed this even have tickets to contest these elections under the parties that you currently represent. That's number one. Number two is that the composition of the incoming National Assembly may or may not be favorable to this idea, because it's going to require some significant changes to the Constitution, to the rules and all of that, and to the structure, the current structure of government. That's why the question is being asked.
Thank you so much. I actually appreciate your concern. But for somebody who knows how the system operates, definitely 71 of us who are co-sponsors of the bill are not coming back to the 9th Assembly. I agree with you. But the question is, when a bill has been introduced into the House, whether it is co-sponsored, whether it is one member that is returning, or whether there are more than one members that are returning, they now continue with where 71 of us stopped. And remember, once a bill is introduced and it has been read for the first time, like this particular one, there is likelihood that the bill will be read for the second time before the lapse of the 8th Assembly. This presupposes that when the 9th Assembly comes on board, whether leadership is favorably disposed for continuation of the bill or not, it is a bill that has been inherited and a bill that is a property of the National Assembly. And after the second reading of a bill, automatically the bill goes to a committee stage. And when a bill goes to the committee stage, the Committee on Constitutional remember, this is a constitutional review bill that involves not only the National Assembly, but goes across the 36 states of the Federation. It's a long journey, I agree with you. Not all of us are coming back, I agree with you. But by the rules, like you said, you know what the rules and the process of legislation is. We must take a step. A journey of 1,000 kilometers starts with at least the first step. And that's exactly where we are. When the 9th Assembly is inaugurated, not all members are coming back. My humble self, for an example, I'm not contesting on any platform. I'm not coming back. But some members are coming back. Leadership has no option, even if it is a single-member bill that is before the National Assembly. The Rules and Business Committee of the House has to schedule bills for the processes of legislation, which has to be completed. And if this bill is read for the second time, it has passed the first stage, which is the first reading. Next one is to be scheduled for second reading. Then when it is read for second time,
yes,
it is
if you
referred to
allow
the
me to
committee.
come
At
in
the
here,
committee level,
let me get as a follow-up to Laddie's question. When he asked why now, the next will be how effective, or should I say now, what difference will it bring to governance, especially now that there seems to be so much rights and lefts about the governance process or the governance structure in the country? If you say that you want to go for a parliamentary system, why then would we say governance is put on the test, or should I say in the eye of the storm in this case? Is this as a result of the governance structure?
Well, Nigeria, as you are aware, we are practicing the presidential system. And from experience that has been garnered from other countries that have practiced parliamentary system, it is the conviction of 71 of us that Nigeria should go from presidential to parliamentary system with all the advantages that are associated with the parliamentary system of government. And now you ask, why now? Why not now? There must be an end to a system for a new system to commence. So there is nothing like, it doesn't mean that one cannot wake up to amend laws or to enact new laws. That is the beauty of democracy. That's why some bills are amendment bills. What we are saying is an alteration to the 1999 Constitution, which was crafted by the military for Nigerians. We want a system, if the bill succeeds, to be a constitution that emanated from representatives of the people. And 71 of us are convinced that the advantages of a parliamentary system overrides that of the presidential system. I don't know whether I'm getting what